Hi, I'm going to show you how I make delicious, savory kale crisps. First, I rinse some kale to remove any of the residual dirt from growing, and I always use organic kale. Then I shake them off and let them dry a bit. So, after draining the kale, I chop them up in big, chunky pieces, like so. Next, I have some Thai as well as Italian basil from the garden that has been rinsed and strained. And I'm going to take the tenderest leaves and tear them off. The stems I will give to my bunnies or put in the compost. Then I juice some lemons till I have around 3/4 cup of lemon juice. Then in my Vitamix, or you may use a food processor, I put in the basil and I sprinkle in, this is like 1 1/4 cups of pine nuts, and I just alternate them, filling it up. Then I add the lemon juice and I start to blend it. I will need to adjust the speed and also use the little plunger to help blend it all together. Food processor's easier, but I'm too lazy to bring it out. Once that's mixed up nicely, then I take several cloves of garlic and I squeeze it right in there, and then I'll blend it some more. Then that garlic that I've added, I'll just do one final little blending. Now I'll take this mixture and I'll put it into my little mixing bowl with a little scraper to get as much of this valuable, delicious goo out of here as I can. Now here's where I take some Bragg's Sprinkle 24 herbs and spices all natural seasoning, and I put it in a spice grinder, and then I grind a bunch of that in there as well. It kind of has some of the onion and pepper taste and carrots and celery, and it's quite delicious. At this time, I sprinkle a little bit of salt. I don't use that much. We'll stir that up, and then I'll add the olive oil, and then I'll stir it up so that it gets to be a nice salad dressing, thick salad dressing consistency. And then I just put in a dollop of Madava's raw agave nectar, and let me try that. Perfect. Okay, here's the part where I'm all gloved up. I've got my kale here and my magical mixture here. And I'm going to basically pour it on the kale, and then with my gloved hands, I'm going to toss it like a salad. Okay, so it's mixed in nicely. All of the leaves are coated and covered, and that's a yummy salad. I've used 2 bunches of kale for this whole mixture, and now I'm going to show you how I just kind of arrange all the pieces on my drying sheet. This is the drying sheet for the Excaliber dehydrator, and so then I'm just going to fill up the dryer sheets delicately and completely, trying to overlap as little as possible, and realizing that as the kale dehydrates, it will shrink. That tray looks good. Now I have 3 more to do. Then I put the drying racks into my Excaliber, and I put them every other slot. And I set the temperature to 115 degrees, and then I check it in about 12 hours and reevaluate as to whether or not I need more time. You can tell they're done when they're nice and crispy. Now it's time to wait and The bunnies get a little treat. They get the little stems from all of the basil. Aren't they sweet? So the kale crisps have been drying overnight. Let's test them. Oh, delicious. When the stems are nice and crunchy, then you know they're done. Because of the variability of produce and fresh food, when you're making raw foods, it's necessary to taste and adjust for your particular taste. So feel free to experiment and have fun, but this is just how I make my basil kale crisps. Enjoy.